Alright team, so I recorded this game a little earlier today. I am playing as Bard. Okay, let's set that to me. This is just a quick kind of example of how to play Bard, but also how to support. So I'm going to try and tell you a couple of the decision-making processes I went through during this game, and yeah, general things to do. So, kicking it off, I always like to go relatively deep at the beginning of the game, just if nothing else to get some cash on my Spell Thief's Edge. But as we saw, there was a ward up here in this bush, so I quickly bailed from that, plus my team wasn't there. Now, Bard isn't in meta at all right now because everybody plays Ardent Sensor and so on and so forth, although they did get nerfed, so perhaps that age is over. But I've always stuck with the Bard because he's amazing if you do it right. But he's pretty tough. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Now, this was a quick game. This was a 20-minute and 25-second game, which, you know, doesn't give you the best educational experience because, you know, it was a stump. It was a big stump. So there's no, you know, late-game decision-making. There's no mid-game team fights, really. It was just stump, stump, stump. But, it's a good example of what to do to win games early, at least. Okay, here we go. So our team is pretty good for Bard. Caitlyn Bard has a lot of synergy. For example, when I ult, she can put a trap directly underneath, or if I get the stun, she can put a trap there. So it's pretty convincing with the kill there. I always like to go to this bush if I'm early because sometimes the enemy bot lane comes through here, and with Bard, it's an easy double man stun. But they have come through lane, so into the laning phase we go. There you go, Bard trading power. However, we did split focus there a lot, so you know it's a kind of even trade overall, even though I got that stun down. So if we had focused, you know, it would have been a lot better. But of course, Vayne was on the Caitlyn. So Vayne into Caitlyn. I mean, in the all-in, Vayne should win, right? But in the laning phase, Caitlyn should win with that extra range. You know, Caitlyn can't do much about avoiding Vayne's damage when Vayne wants to go all in. You just gotta be careful of that. But the idea is that Vayne doesn't get to that point because Caitlyn's range is just so much better. So while we're level 2, well, okay, so I like to, you need to put some pressure on. So even though I'm not auto-attacking at all here, I'm walking in and I'm making it, currently, but supposedly I'm gonna walk in and just threaten the auto attack. So, you know, Vayne it's not free CS for her, she has to kind of work for it. Cool, so they have no vision in this bush. And I know that because they're not being aggressive at all. Also, if I stop, I can see that they won't. I won't automatically attack minions. But now that they have vision in this bush, I need to be a lot more careful, so I'm gonna back off. And as Bard, it's really important that you go and collect your chimes that are dotted throughout the map. But you have to do it at the right time. So right now, there's no threat to Caitlyn, so I'm okay to leave. Alright, so I know this bush is bordered, but because the minion wave is pushing up, we can move up here. Alright, so I missed that trade there, I missed that Q, but you know, in League it's always, you go... Okay, so there you go. Easy getaway. Good stun. In the meantime, we get first blood. Good stuff. Okay, so Sona's got low mana here, so I'm okay to be a little bit more aggressive because Bard's auto attacks is all he needs. They're pretty ridiculous. So I saved my Q there. I used to take exhaust back in the day, but for some reason Ignite's in favor, and there we go. There's the first kill of the game for me. Alright. So at this point, I'm going to go and collect some chimes, because that's really important for me to do. The Nautilus ganked recently, so I don't expect him to gank again. I'll put this board down so that sees if he gets the blast going, but if he walks through here, then we've got no idea. So that's a little bit poor on my behalf, leaving lane now with no vision of the river at all. She's pretty low, so she definitely could die at this point. So really, I probably should have stayed and pushed this wave in to help. But I went back and I upgraded my Spell Thieves and I got some boots. So I think it's always worth it to upgrade your support gold per 10 item, because you just get more gold, and you're certainly going to make up the gold you spent on it. Especially if you're upgrading it into the Sightstone upgrade, or yeah, if you're upgrading into that, or like Spell Thief's Edge or whatever, Frostqueen's Flame, sorry, that's what I mean, then it's definitely worth upgrading it for sure, early as possible. Okay, so I'm going to rush Mermy Boots after this, because, especially with Bard, it's just so important to leave lane, because you can do so much outside of lane. Plus, because of the chimes that are on the map, you're incentivized to leave lane. Yeah, then I will get a Sightstone as soon as possible after that, because right now we have no vision, of course, as you can see. We don't know where anyone is. Alright, so Bard trading is pretty strong if you get that stun down. So here I went to get the chime and I took way too much damage, but sacrifices must be made, right? Of course, it's always good if I don't have that ward down. With Bard at least, you can face check stuff because you've got his E to get you home, plus I still had flash, so I mean, well, I don't want to burn flash, obviously. I had that safety there. So we know Victor's roamed, so he should be coming up through mid. And I can see that fight's going on. There's no point me being here, so I'm going to leave. And I'm going to, hopefully, be there in time for this fight. So I am walking straight through minions, so I'm in total vision, but he hasn't noticed, basically, so I was able to get there. I didn't use my E that whole time, because I want that. That's my backup plan. I could be this aggressive, because I know I've got E. So we get all that down. At the Anivia, he misses his E. He hits the Nautilus instead. But I get the kill. Nautilus flashes. In the meantime, Vayne has roamed without the soda. Because I've still got my E, we can do that. I did miss that Q, which certainly cost us, but the Vayne did Duke. And I just missed. Woof. Like 10 health there. Okay, so the big 10 ulti comes down. I got my Ignite down, and with the Darius Bleed, that's a kill there. My killing spree, alright. Okay, so whenever you're playing Bard, it's really important to, when you leave a lane, after you've done a gank, just throw down one of your heals, because you never know, it may save someone, may get you an assist, and it's one of your 3 abilities, so try not to forget it. I always max Q first. That's not me. I always max Q first, then I max E. When I started playing Bard, I started maxing W second, which is the heal, and the heal is, yeah, it's a tiny bit of a heal, but really it's a movement speed buff. It's like, it's super good in lane, but you know, once you get past level 6, it doesn't really do much healing, and it's just all about the movement speed, and it's just a way for you to get quick assists. Okay, so back to the laning phase. Looking at Sona's items, she's going straight for... Ooh, anyway, that's ridiculous. Good stuff. Okay, he's got no offensive ability. He's on level 5. He doesn't have an ult, and he's just on SQ, so I can be really aggressive, and I've got a Nivea coming. However, I did miss that Q. So it's really important not to overextend. I missed the Q, so nothing more we can do there. No point chasing him anymore. Okay, as you can see, I've got Mermy Boots now, and I've built half my Sightstone. Woof, Sona's just on the mana regen item. So she's rushing out on Sensor, but she's giving up so much lane. But then again, I mean, Vayne into Caitlyn doesn't have a laning phase anyway, so, and she's got Carl, so they can't fight whatsoever. No one's got any fighting ability right now compared to the BF of Kate. So now it's not much for me to do in this case, because no one's, you know, they're just sitting back and hard. Alright, so I missed my Q there, big time, and I got punished for it hard. So into a Vayne, you can't be that aggressive sometimes, because if you stuff it up, she will do so much damage. Alright, so they're on the turret. I'm just going to go get some vision down. Have I still got flash? I've still got flash, still got my journey. That was a chime there, so some free money. See that there's a ward. I'm going to go check this chime. This is actually pretty bad because I don't have any vision. I mean, the Victor just disappeared. I have no idea where Nautilus is. But speaking of Victor... Okay, so this is what the Bard ult is so good for. Easy picks. I timed my Q right, so even though he flashed, when I cast my Q and it hit him, it still registered hitting that. It's going to be close, but I got that kill again. I know there's a ward there, which I want to get, but Caitlyn's pinging for my assistance, so down bot lane I go. But this is a really good ward. This spot here, that's great. That was me pinging that there's a ward here as well. But this is so good because you can see that mid laner move down here, and you know if he stops here suddenly, he's put a ward down. So you know what he's doing. Going back bot lane, what's happening? Alright, so it's really, people don't expect you to auto attack. So I auto attacked Vayne, but I queued Sona, and she didn't expect that, she got hit. And then add in the Caitlyn Q, and then that was a lot of damage there. So it's so close to getting that kill here. Let's see what happens. So again, auto attack Vayne, Q the Sona. Caitlyn gets the Q down, she's, oof, so tempting. Alright, so we've got no vision, so I'm just playing a little bit safe. Yeah, make sure you have these down and available. Where am I going now? Okay, so I know Victor flashed. When we made this this pick here, he burned his flash, so I want to keep hanging out near this Victor, because that's a free kill right now. Anyway, I know there's this ward here. I'm going to recall, now that I've killed this ward, so I know that there's a safe path going up here. Anivia rewards this, so if Victor comes down here, or if anyone comes down here, we can see if they stop that they're going to put a ward in here. So we've got super good vision right now. I've gone back, I've got a Sightstone, and with my, 4 kills, I got my Kindle Gem, which is going to, for me, build into Knight's Vow, which is the first item I usually get, unless they have a lot of AP. Like an AP jungler that's pretty fed, then I'll go straight to Locket, but generally I go Knight's Vow into Locket. So I went back mid originally because I know that Victor has no flash, and he's just money sitting there. Here we can see the Nautilus come through river. We're going to collapse on that. Alright, so he misses his Q. He flashes there, and he's a kill. So I'm going to ult the Victor, looking for another pick. So that's great. People don't expect you to be able to chain picks like that. So that's what the Bard ult is looking for. I mean, however, Caitlyn did get chased up river, so we've had to call that one off. I really like this portal. This is a super good portal, and we can see the Sona. She knows I've cut her off. Unfortunately, she uses the portal too, but we find a way to make it work, as you will see. Okay. There we go, get the kill. Now I'm going to ward up this area, and I'm going to go straight to Dragon. So the 2 wards I'm about to put down, they're... Even when you're not doing Dragon, these are super good wards. These 2 locations. If you've got a 3rd one, you can chuck it there, because some junglers can get over this wall, such as J4. But this way, you see anyone coming out from the base on their blue side. So if they come through here, you see them. Come through there, you see them. If they come through lane, you see them there. And you even see them coming through this way. So it's just super good. Woof. So I'm playing pretty aggressively because I'm 4-0-3, and I know that Victor's pretty weak. So I kind of wanted to make a pick there, but wasn't on. So you shouldn't normally. I portaled into no vision. So that's not a good move, but you know, I did it. But I am feeling quite good. In the meantime, Shen's off for some reason. Okay, so my kill participation is almost 100% right now. And that's what you should have as Bard, really. Unless you're getting solo kills top and mid lane, you should be ganking just as much as the jungler. So that's why I always rush Merby Boots, because Merby Boots are just, they're a must-do. Not on every support, but especially Bard. Anyone, unless you're like a Zyra, if you're a heavy AP mage, then you might want to get M-Pen boots. But if you're like a Soraka or a Janna or anything like that, you don't want to do the Sona, just get movement speed boots. So she's still rushing. Oh god, she still hasn't got her ardent sensor, which is poor. How much money she got? She got off that. Okay, so I've moved bot because they were pushing in, but no one's around. Caitlyn's free to farm, so I'm going to leave her alone. There's no point me being there because she's not a danger. I did want to see what was going on over here, but we won, and there's just a gauge, so I'm just going to walk back bot lane. Okay, so we've still got this vision here, so I know that the gank is not going to happen soon. Okay, so if we check the item difference, we've got
team's turret has been
we're quite a bit of attack speed and crit up. Anyway, we're just building them really hard in lane, which is what you should do. Like, if Sona can't... Sona's job is to bully, basically. She gets free auto attacks and free spells on 2 different champs, so she's a super bully in lane, but when you have a Vayne paired with that who can't keep up with it, then, you know, Sona really falls behind, and then she doesn't do much. So I think this is a pretty weak combination of these two, especially with our range. So we're just poking this down. So I missed that one there, but if she had tumbled into it, then that probably would have been a kill because it's so much damage when it lands, and that's her tumble gone. So I'm a bit nervous. I don't want to throw out my Q. I'm not going to hit it. As you see, I did take quite a bit of damage then. You know, like a good chunk of my health. And, they're a little bit scared, which is why they let me walk up to this. But you do have to be careful. If I miss my Q, then I have no way to stop the... Okay, so this is the Caitlyn Bard combo right here. Vayne's all about mobility, going invisible using her ult. She can't do it whatsoever because it's just trapped immediately, and there's basically no way to stop that. So she had to flash out there. Didn't have flash. Guess wasn't fast enough with the tumble. I've gone super aggressive again because we're just so far ahead right now. We're going straight in. She's going to take that turret. Good sidestep. In the meantime, another kill for me. What am I now? 504. Yeesh. And again, this is the mobility of Bard, and it's really important that you max that E second to reduce the cooldown, firstly, because in that whole fight, I've used E twice to get up and down this corridor. Now J4, he took the blast cone over just as the Nautilus flashed, so that was pretty poor because there's no point in taking it over if you want someone on that side of the walls. Anyway, we get the kill, but as you see, I do not get the assist, so very upset about that. What are we now? We're 17 minutes in and we're pushing this. We're going to push another turret, I think. Let's see. It's really important not to overextend, especially at this time. The death timers are so low. And like our damage to turrets is pretty minimal. Anyway, so we missed the hook in. Here we see all the shielding from Shen and the barrier and the healing that'll come through. So Darius is pretty deep. I guess we're following. We probably shouldn't. We should probably leave him in this instance, but as it turns out, we're quite ahead. Oh boy. Okay. So she unfortunately, she's going to die now, as you'll see, because she tanked those 2 turret shots. I could have been earlier. Sona was in full vision. I could have been early with my Q. That might have saved her, but alas, there it is. Now, a lot of people, they forget about this portal, which is annoying for a Bard, because, you know, it's one of my abilities. And it's a great ability, but people, you know, they don't realize. No one plays Bard. He's pretty uncommon. Alright, back to base I go. I've got my Knight's Vow now, and I've got my Aegis as well. Just gonna upgrade that. It's really important that you, what am I, I'm level 10 now. Always upgrade your Scrying Orb to the, whatever that is. And, I mean, everyone should get a Control Ward. We've got 2. We've got 1 currently on the map. Sona still, well, she's got her Ardent Sensor, but she has no Sidestone. So if we swap to red side vision, 2 wards here, 1 pink ward, and 2 on the map. So that's everyone's trinket ward down, and 1 vision ward, but that's it. That's all they can see right now. So we basically have full reign to move throughout this jungle. So we're going to push up mid now, and I think the Anivia will appear here in a second. Yeah, there we go. And you'll see why having no vision really hurts this team. Having said that, the more you are pushed into your base, the less you need vision because all you're doing is sitting back and farming. But at 19 minutes in, not to have a Sightstone on the team at all is very poor. So there's a Tracker's Knife on the Nautilus, which is good. I mean, if you're... Anyway, so I've altered these 2. I altered from this bush, so they couldn't see anything, because they have no vision of it. So the cast time is very short if I ult from here. So they didn't see that whatsoever. They're both dead now. I don't know what this Smith is doing, but yeah, he's down 2. We're going to take this turret and this inhib, and in about 30 seconds they're going to surrender. So this game was a stomp, partially because no Sidestone, no vision. I was able to walk up and down this river constantly to pick up my 6 kills and 8 assists. So yeah, all I can say is roaming Bard, you need to get out of lane ASAP, basically. Especially against such a weak lane like this, and Caitlyn, where she's pretty reliable to be able to get out of combat by herself. She's not that dependent on you. If you've got a Jhin or something, or a Jinx, you kind of can't leave her alone that much. So that's a pretty bad combo. But anyone who's self-sufficient, you can leave lane. Anyway, that's the end of the game. So hopefully this was a little bit of a showcase on how to Bard. It's how to stomp with Bard, basically. And if I have another game later where it's a little bit more even, then I'll put that one up too. Alrighty, thanks team.